Hello there and welcome to this video. My name is Riley and today we're going to be talking about one of the most hotly debated cryptocurrencies and blockchain platforms in the whole cryptocurrency space. And that is Ripple and XRP. So to start off the video, what I'm going to do, just to go through, just so you know what's going to happen in this video, I'm going to put timestamps down below in the description box on different parts of the video so you can click to those if you want to see a specific part of the video. But just to show you, first off we're going to look at what is Ripple, then we're going to have a look at the features which make it unique. Luckily it's quite a simple cryptocurrency and blockchain platform in design, so that won't take very long. Then we'll look at why is it useful, what its real world applications are, take a quick look at the team and the community behind Ripple and XRP, then look at where you can buy and store your XRP. Then I'll go through my thoughts on the future of Ripple. And then finally we'll go through just a little bit of a technical analysis just to cap things off. So just to preface this video as well, I want to say that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. This is just purely for educational purposes only, and you should only use this as one point of reference when making your decision to whether you want to invest in this cryptocurrency or not. So without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So what is Ripple exactly? Well, Ripple, there's three parts to this. There's first the Ripple Labs company, then there's the Ripple payment protocol, and then you have XRP, which is the cryptocurrency used on that. And we're going to discuss this right now. See, people think that it is all just the one thing, but it's actually different, separate things. And so Ripple Labs, which was founded in 2004, is a business which provides transaction processing software to banks. And so that's a company which existed before the Ripple protocol, which is the blockchain platform provided by Ripple Labs. And so this stuff, Ripple can work without XRP or the Ripple protocol. So it's a separate company all by itself. And XRP is the native cryptocurrency which is used on the Ripple protocol, which is a private permission-based blockchain which allows trusted third parties to move assets onto a decentralized blockchain infrastructure. What it does is it improves international payments because it uses end-to-end messaging to track payment progress, ensure all necessary compliance and financial information in the transaction is there in the first place, and then it provides a quick and reliable delivery notice after the transaction has been completed. So let's talk about XRP, and I just mentioned XRP is the native asset which is used on the Ripple blockchain or protocol to provide liquid and fast transactions. Currently we have a total supply of 39 billion XRP and a max supply of 100 billion XRP. And you may ask, well, why is it so? Why are there so many coins? Because won't this decrease the value? Well, XRP is designed to be something which is utilized to give fast liquidity, and the company wants it to be spent and to be transacted. They don't want it to be held as a store of value, which is sort of like what Bitcoin is becoming now. They want to promote spending and transacting rather than holding. And so Ripple is a pre-mined coin, which it is not like BTC, and that means all the coins were created in the beginning. Now Ripple Labs owns 50 to 60% of the XRP, and a small portion of these are sold to the banks at a discount in order to try and persuade them to join. I guess this is what I call the Ripple Alliance. It's sort of like the partners and banks on the Ripple network. And then also, Ripple Labs will release 200 to 300 million XRP to the markets every month. But however, Ripple has a lockup agreement which locks up 1 billion XRP per month also over a 5-year window to lock up roughly 55 billion XRP. Now what this does is this ensures that the company still has the majority control over the XRP in order to help defend against price manipulation. And so Ripple is currently in escrow, and if there are any coins left over at the end of the 5-year lockup period, the coins which are left will then go into lockup, and they won't be able to touch them for another 5 years. Now you might say, well, if the company owns the 55 billion coins, what is stopping them from dumping it? Well, the thing about Ripple, they want to create a cryptocurrency with a stable value. They don't want it fluctuating up and down, because otherwise the banks won't utilize it. The banks want something which is fairly stable. And if they just released and pumped all these coins into the market, then it wouldn't be stable, and the banks would not find it an attractive investment and sort of protocol to utilize their payments on. So that's why they keep most of the XRP, and so they can try and keep it from being very volatile. So a couple of features. There's not really that many features which makes Ripple tick, but it is quite a simple yet effective cryptocurrency. And so the three main features are Xcurrent, which this is something which enables banks to message, clear, and settle their transactions with really fast speeds, transparency, and efficiency across the Ripple network and between their partnered banks. And just to mention, these three are basically all the three big parts of the Ripple protocol. Now, XVIA is the second part, which enables users to seamlessly send payments across global networks with a payment status and rich information within the transactions. For example, invoices, things like that, which are attached. And then the last thing is XRapid, which is basically XRP. And this allows for the high liquidity and fast transactions among organizations and payment providers, whilst providing very, very, very low fees. Now, so why is Ripple useful? Well, the old SWIFT system, which is the banking system we use now, is really slow and outdated. Domestic payments take days between institutions because of all the verification which needs to take place, and it only takes place on business days because of this. And then if you look at international payments, these take even longer, as you have to have further verification, and they come with higher associated fees. Now, what Ripple does, it charges minimal to zero fees and is able to execute instant transactions, which are basically 4 to 8 seconds, whenever they want, to anywhere in the world, to anyone in the world. And this is achieved by having a group of these trusted third parties, which I call the Ripple Alliance. So they're all a big network of banks. And by having these third-party connections, they can be sent to each other without the need for verifying, because they know there is that reliability in the network. So the community and the team behind Ripple. First look at the community, very, very large. So far, Ripple is only just getting started, and they've already got 100 partners and 175 which are deploying the Ripple protocol commercially and their other softwares. On Twitter, they have 184,000 followers, which has plenty of discussion and regular updates, which is a really big, nice number. Now, in terms of the team and the company, as you can see here, if we just look at a few of the people behind Ripple, we can see that they really mean business, and they have had a lot of nice experience at bigger companies. You see the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, working for companies like AOL, holding management presidential positions, Yahoo and SBC. And we see other people like Ashish here, works at Thomson Reuters, another huge company, and David Schwartz, which is the sort of chief cryptography work. He developed things for CNN and the NSA. And the list goes on. All these guys have very, very reputable resumes behind them. And it is really good to see that, because it means they have experience in business, and they will be able to be a good voice to drive this company forward. So where do you buy and store the cryptocurrencies, which is XRP? Well, first you will store it on you can either store it on online wallets like exchange wallets, for example Bittrex, Poloniex, even though they're not proper wallets, or GateHub, which is an actual online exchange wallet, or hardware wallets like the Ledger Nano S. Ripple hasn't really got that many options right now to store it, which is kind of one of the things which lets it down. Now, in terms of where you can buy Ripple, as you can see here, basically anywhere. Like, you can see all the major exchanges have it on it with real high volume, and these are, if you know about cryptocurrencies and altcoins and Bitcoin, and you buy them, you're going to be on at least one of these exchanges, so you're going to be able to buy Ripple. So now let's just talk about the future of Ripple and my thoughts real quick. And I know a lot of people are even going to dislike me for even making this video because they disagree with Ripple so much because it doesn't fit into that whole decentralized currency thing. It's a currency which is helped and made for the banks. But one of the misconceptions which Ripple has is people think that the banks made it and then the banks own the most of the XRP, therefore it's controlled by the banks. But this is not the case. As I mentioned before, Ripple Labs, the company, actually owns most of the XRP, not the banks. And look, I don't love Ripple because again, like, I would prefer a decentralized currency, but I'm more of a realist in that I know Ripple is not going anywhere. People have this dream that, you know, over the next few years somehow the banks are going to disappear and we're just going to change up the whole monetary and economic system, and we're just going to have this new decentralized system. And this is just not the case. Like, people don't understand how massive of a change that would have to be in order for something like this to occur. And Ripple, like I said before, it's a couple of things. It's a payment protocol, it's a company, and then XRP is its cryptocurrency. And even if you did take away XRP, even if you did take away Ripple's blockchain protocol, Ripple will still be here for years to come because it was a working company far before cryptocurrencies. And take it as you like it. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a fanboy of it, but I know it's going to be here around for a long time because let's face it, as much as we love it, the banks aren't just going to vanish overnight. And so I'd give Ripple a very long-term hold because they're only really just getting started, and it won't be until mass adoption really that you will see this, because most of the bigger banks with higher liquidity and volume of money will be getting into it. Alright, so now it's time for a bit of technical analysis. And first I want to look at the US dollar to Ripple to US dollar chart, I should say. And long term, we can see that in the start of this year, Ripple just went soaring through the roof. And this was during the altcoin bubble. And like basically every other coin, every other altcoin, Ripple just crashed after this altcoin bubble burst. And we have sort of seen a bit of a consolidation, but it's been pretty rocky since then. And we can see since the altcoin bubble in May that we have been forming this big long-term pennant pattern with Ripple's USD chart. As you can see, we've just been touching, and it's a good thing because our support levels are getting higher, so it's a nice bullish sign. And if we can zoom in here, we can see that short term, after this was around the SegWit 2x cancellation. And after this, just like most coins, Ripple has come back up and is on a little bit of a bull run here. We've got this nice channel forming here. So we've just gone up from basically what's 18 cents, and we're currently at 26 cents. Short term, what we're just going to have to look at is just to see how this interacts with this sort of resistance trend line. So if this does, if it shoots through it, then it'll be a very bullish sign for the USD dollar amount. But if it does bounce back down, then we may be looking for another consolidation and just looking for more sort of sideways trending. But in the short term, and obviously the long term, I do think Ripple will go up. How much, I'm not too sure, but it could all change depending on fundamental things which happen with the fundamentals between now and sort of the next couple of months. So moving on to the BTC chart, we can see quite a different pattern, and this is sort of a result of Ripple's sort of consolidation over the last few months. So you can see here that this was the altcoin bubble, we've shot up, and then the altcoin bubble burst, and relative to BTC, we've just been running down on this huge sort of bear run, basically all the way to a full retracement back to where we started at the start of the year. Oh, actually, no, not at the start of the year, but basically earlier in the year. So we can see we've just got to this fib line here, and with short term, we've still got this little downtrend happening. We've got this channel coming in here, and we are just sort of bouncing off it up and down. We can see our RSI, we've just recently sort of come off an overselling of the RSI, and our MACD is still currently slightly in the negative. So what we're going to have to watch is to see how this MACD shoots up, because once it goes into the positive, that is a really good sign. But we've also got to look at this RSI to see where it goes. And we see this is a 200-day moving average, which is finally caught up to it. Once it goes through that 200, it's not a very good sign. So it's good to see it catch up to it. But with the Bitcoin comparative, I'm not as bullish on it as I am the USD value. That's because I do think Bitcoin is going to have a very big year over the next year, and leading into 2019 and 20. And at the moment, I don't think Ripple is in any position to really soar and catch up in his Bitcoin comparative. So that's kind of why I'm not in it. See, I bought Ripple, and originally I did have an investment around here. I bought in about 3,000 Satoshis, 3.5. Yeah, it's 3.5 what I've got here. And then I sold it about 6.5. So I made a good profit, but I haven't bought since because I haven't really seen a good value in it for a Bitcoin comparative. And so yeah, I'm not going to buy Ripple short term, but I do think it is a very good long-term play, and this is due to a couple of reasons. One is because we are going to be getting institutional money come in during sort of the next couple of years, and this will show increased interest in basically the whole market. And so Ripple, like I said before, Ripple is a platform to be used by the banks, and the banks have a lot of the institutional money. And you see, they want Ripple to succeed. They want the Ripple sort of share price to succeed. They want it to be up and going well. So they're going to invest in it, and if they're not using the Ripple protocol, they're not going to invest in it because they don't believe in it. But if they do use the Ripple protocol, they want to see it win, and by investing in it, they're actually technically sort of indirectly investing in themselves. And this leads me on to my next point. At the moment, we haven't reached this sort of mass adoption of institutional money, and once we do start to get institutional money, obviously this will cause large influxes in sort of in price change in the Ripple charts and in every other cryptocurrency chart. And what we should see what I think we should see is quite a large run up for quite a while, until we have enough money that these institutional players no longer have sort of a large say in the sort of in the space when they're investing. They don't have such a large influence over the price. And once we get there, we will sort of, in a couple of years, I do believe this will happen. Ripple will sort of tread along in a stable way, and then it'll shoot up as once institutional money starts going, and we'll see huge volatility. And then after a few years, once most of the institutional money is in, then it'll settle. And that needs to be on to my next thing, which is, like I talked about before, the Ripple coins are currently in an escrow. So some are being locked up, and then some are being introduced, like 200 to 300 million are being introduced to the market every month. And so they're inflating the value of the Ripple coin. And this is sort of this will decrease the value of your coin indefinitely, because price is about supply and demand, and you're increasing the supply. So you're technically, with not much increase in demand, if any, you are decreasing the price. And so once this 5-year lockout period is over and all the coins have been released into the market, you will have a finite supply of coins, but you will still have an increased demand, or you should have an increased demand for the coins, and hence the coins should go up in value. But that's just my thoughts. I'm not going to buy it short term, but long term, I think there will be a time where I will buy it again, because I do think that someday it will be a very, very lucrative investment. So I want to thank you all for watching this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you like this video, and also to leave a comment down below. I'll be bringing out future videos on other cryptocurrencies very soon, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you later.